Hey guys, welcome back. You are tuned in with Cindy and John. In today's video, we are going to be discussing our first date. So, in our last video, not our last one, but our last how we met video, which I'll attach if you haven't seen yet. We discussed a little bit about how we met and how we got to know each other. But in this one, we want to talk about our first date and just how we eventually started dating. So this is kind of our story with that. And yeah, you want anything?
Story time.
It is a story time. So if you guys haven't yet, subscribe down below because we'll have more videos in the future. Do you want to catch them up on what happened at the end of our how we met video?
So we went to church and then we went out to eat and you interrogated me and the waitress didn't know that I existed. And the end.
He says...
I had a sweet motorcycle.
He did have a nice motorcycle. He says interrogation, I say questioning. So we went to church, had some lunch afterwards, got to know each other, and that was kind of our first experience. But our first real date was the next one. So what happened after that?
I invited you to a barn party.
Yes, so
I
did not want to go to a barn party. I was like, a barn party? That was kind of, the place we met was throwing a barn party, and I was like, a party in a barn? Doesn't sound fun to me. And then
I was like, hey, you want to go to a barn party? And she's like, nope.
Well,
I do not.
I was like, wow, no,
okay, she's not interested.
No. It was more of like, it wasn't my vibe. I wasn't sure about, the music and the dancing.
Instead of like coming back and being like, hey, we could do this instead, you're just like, no.
No, we ended up...
That's, ladies, what we call mixed signals.
No, that was more of, I just didn't want to do that particular thing, but I actually ended up doing it, so...
That's only because I bribed you.
So he didn't bribe me.
I said, let's make a deal, because she's super, not interested. And
I was interested.
Okay, great.
Not in that, but in him.
Didn't provide any alternatives. By the way, ladies, that's how you tell a guy that you're interested. If he invites you to a thing that you're not really feeling, but you actually want to see him, you say, let's do this other thing that you think he would enjoy.
Well,
so not like he invites you to do a thing and you're like, let's go shopping for shoes.
No.
Because that's not really telling him that you're interested in him. That's just telling him that you like shopping for shoes. Okay? So you gotta pick something that you think that he would enjoy that's very similar to what he invited you to. Pro tips. You're welcome. Back to the barn party. I bribed her with, I said, if we go and you hate it, I'll buy you dinner.
And I was like, oh, he's being nice.
And if you enjoy it, I'll cook you dinner.
Well, at this point, I was like, oh, he wants me to come. I thought it was just like a recommendation, like, oh yeah, you should join the barn party. I was just like, well, I can see you another time. That one didn't sound very fun. But the fact that he's like, oh no, he gave me these little things on the side, I was just like,
food.
I was like, oh, he wants me to come. That's exciting. Okay, well, I'm gonna try it out. But I wanted to see how he could cook. So, yeah.
Which, another thing, if you're gonna bribe a girl and you say, if you hate it, I'll take you out to dinner, then obviously she's motivated to tell you she hated it, right? But if you say, if you hated it, then I'll buy you dinner, and if you liked it, I'll cook you dinner, she's motivated to say, yeah, I liked it, because they want to see how you cooked. And either way, she gets food. So
I just thought
that means
cool.
You get another date.
I thought it was cool that he could cook as a man,
Again.
Let's be honest. I was like, oh wow. Okay, he's impressive.
And she showed up and I made Pop-Tarts.
That's not what happened.
Not what happened.
But we'll go into that in a second. So I ended up going to the barn party. I brought my friend with me because I was just like, you know what? Let's see if me and my friend can both vibe to this and enjoy it together. And John actually brought his brother, again from the first part. And yeah, he ended up playing volleyball. They had volleyball before the barn party started. And I was watching him play and do that.
Well, you kept running
I was like,
off
you invited me. I'm like, hey.
She kept running off for this, that, and the other so other people could take pictures of her or whatever.
No, they had interviews around the whole thing and they were asking me, what do you think about the barn party? So
yeah, and
that's
she's
what
like, oh, camera. And so she ran off to do that.
That's
so
what he calls pictures.
Okay, well, we can't look too thirsty here, so I guess I'm gonna go play volleyball with my bro.
So he was doing that. I was like, okay, he's athletic. All right, that's nice. And I was watching him do that a little bit.
I had a rosary around my wrist, rope one, string one. Anyway, and if you're playing volleyball, that'd be a problem. So I asked her to hang on to it for me.
Which was smart, I'm not gonna lie. Because at first I was like, oh, well, he's giving me his rosary. But he's not really giving it to me. He's probably gonna want it back. And then by the end of the night, when it was time for me to go, I was like, oh shoot, I had it. And I'm like, did you want it back? And he was just like, no, I can hold on to
No,
it.
hang on to it. I'll get it from you later.
Yeah.
It means I had to see her again.
Yeah.
And every time she looked at it, she'd think about me.
I would. So it was really sweet. I thought it was nice that he let me borrow that for a little bit. And yeah, super thoughtful, but smart and sneaky. And then eventually we had to go inside for the barn party. But before that could happen, he had to help fix an electronic problem.
It was really bad. It was so bad, it rendered her speechless.
It did.
Full disclosure, I didn't end up completely fixing it. So
He tried.
they were planning on doing it upstairs, but they brought the wrong cables for the audio system. And so we figured out a way that they could do it downstairs ultimately.
Yeah.
Or they figured out a way to do it downstairs. I forget. But eventually I got to a point where, okay, I can't fix this.
But
I don't have the right parts.
I'm gonna say something. He killed trying. Like, he got
Oh.
an A for effort.
I am the best at trying.
No, but he really was. Like, he's an electrical engineer, as you guys may or may not know. And when they asked him to help, I saw how much he was willing to help, and just, he went to his car to find tools, and he was just doing everything he could, and I was like, oh, he's helpful.
Let's be honest, I was
like
motivated. I wanted this dance party to go on so I could show my strong moves.
So he really did a good job with that. So eventually we went downstairs, and then we had the barn party. I was, at first I was skeptical, because I'm like, I don't really dance to country music. I don't really do swing. Music wasn't really my cup of tea. But I'm like, you know what? I'm here. We're gonna have a good time. My other friend was there to enjoy the time, so we're like, we're gonna have a good time. As soon as they started playing music, John and Greg, his brother, were excited to go dance, and I watched them for a bit. I was one of those people just like,
Yeah, mad about it.
no, I wasn't mad.
A little bit of
I was
neck
like
motion.
looking around, like, okay. And then eventually he was like, do you want to dance? And I'm like, don't really know anything about swing. That's like another thing. I didn't know anything about swing dancing. I got confused because
What's
I was,
square dancing?
you have like your partner and you swing around, round and round. Isn't that it? I don't know. What's square dancing?
They call it. They tell you what to do.
Oh, so it's like doing shuffles.
Sort of.
Okay, but the country version.
The country version of a shuffle. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I don't know.
Actually, the country version of a shuffle might be a line dance.
I don't know all these dances. All I know is at first I wasn't super into it, but then he made it fun because he was dancing and joyful and happy.
Yeah. Really, you start to enjoy yourself.
I did.
And a dance with your friend too, because you gotta take care of the friend.
Yeah, so he's like, took a second. He was like, let me dance with her, and he was being all sweet, and yeah, it was definitely like a fun experience. If I had to go to a barn party again, maybe, but but it was nice. It was nice to hang out with him.
But if I had to go to a barn party, there's about a 2% chance I'd show up.
I might actually show face. Anyways,
They had
so
food.
they did have food. What did we have again? Do you remember?
Subs.
Oh, it was subs. You're right. It was subs. So I ended up eating. You know me. I love my food. Y'all see all the food videos we make. So, so yeah. So that was a great experience. So I ended up having a good time with John, and then he ended up cooking me dinner.
Correct. Because afterwards, I was like, so, did you enjoy it? Yes or no? And I had already made a bet that meant either way I got another date.
Yeah, which was winning on
Which
his
is
part.
pro tip. Pro tip.
That was
So
so smooth.
even if this one went down, I had a do-over. But she said, "Well, actually, I enjoyed it. Let's see how you can cook." And I feel like that's another story time.
It is. So we'll probably have to end it there. But I'll just say this: he was a good cook. I'm sure you guys know that already.
He was a good cook. He got worse, but at that time, he was a good cook.
He was a great cook. Anyways, he knows I like him now. No, I like you now, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, just making sure. We hope you guys enjoyed this story time. We have a lot of different fun stories, so if you're interested, give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments below if you can relate to anything. And yeah, we will see you in another video.